Well, I don't know if we can top what just happened here at Drury University at the 32nd Annual Christian Homeschool Basketball National Championships, but we are going to try. It's a girls 18U Division I 6A gold ball game. The Chisholm Knights out of Texas and the Lincoln Lady Eagles out of Nebraska. Scott Staten, Jeremy Caldwell, CJ Pomeroy, and we're going to be bringing you the action here today. And guys, we've had another buzzer beater just right before this one in the boys 16U game, or 14U game, and now getting ready for some more great action as we switch over to the girls and the 18U trying for a gold ball here.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to follow that feat that you and Paul just got through calling. That was an unbelievable ending by both teams to execute full court inbound plays.
I do think that both these teams here will have a chance to give us a great game. I called both their games yesterday, and I almost did it myself there. The Crimson Knights had a struggle in the first quarter and then totally dominated after that. The Lincoln Eagles were back and forth. Avery Meir, strong player there for the Knights. The Lincoln Eagles back and forth. They led most of the first half. Then the Texas Lions led most of the second half. They scored to tie the game to send it to overtime. Haley Nichols passed the ball, was deflected. She caught her own pass, was able to put the ball in for a layup. That helped them get to overtime, where the Eagles then dominated in overtime to get them to this game today.
We've had so many good ones. And if you're joining us now, Chisholm in the black uniforms with the red and white trim. Lincoln Eagles in the white uniforms with the red and black trim. So they got some of the same colors. So it's basically a home and away uniform. And neither team able to score here in this first minute. As you mentioned, yesterday both of these teams had to win to get here. And in the semis, it was a 74-45 win you talked about. They ended up having over Tulsa Chef, and in the Lady Eagles with a 72-67 win over the Lions. Meanwhile, there's a quick score, and finally someone on the board now as Lincoln gets their first two.
That's Hannah Sedlacek.
And Sedlacek is going to be someone to watch in this game. She came down with an injury in the fourth period, had to sit for most of the fourth, was able to get back onto the court, but you can see now today she's got that right knee wrapped.
Yeah.
So we'll need to keep an eye on her throughout the day. There's a lot of star power, Scott, on the floor.
Absolutely, and I always love it. I had two girls that played in homeschool basketball, and you really see some fantastic athletes as the first shot is good there by Avery Meir, and that gets the Crimson Knights on the board. But, yeah, there's going to be some great matchups, and this is the first of several. We got more great games coming up at girls 18U. She sinks them both, and we're all knotted up early on at 2. And then on the inbounds, a tie-up, and to the floor went Haley Nichols, and I believe she's going to be called on the foul there, trying to get a steal. Chisholm will inbound it.
That's two quick fouls for Lincoln here.
Trapped over in the corner. Oh, find it down in the lane. They find Meir, and she's able to put that one in. And now the Lady Knights, Crimson Knights, with the 2-point lead.
Yeah, Meir has really strong hands down in their post. Really good footwork in the post. And if you can get it to her that low, more times than not, it's going to end up in 2 points.
It's a good find, really good find.
Avery's game has really grown in the last year.
Great block. She comes down to this end, and as the Lady Eagles took it inside, she just swiped that out of the air.
I believe that foul was on Mraz. Daria, that's going to be her first foul. So that's 3 Lincoln Eagles with fouls here in this first
And they
quarter.
had trouble with this yesterday, Jeremy. They got into a lot of foul trouble. That's why Texas Lions were able to get back in the game.
Meir all the way to the goal with the left hand. She's got all 6 points for the Crimson Knights.
The thing about Meir, she's got great size, but then she's also a lefty.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's tough to defend if you're boys or girls.
Yep.
And Avery Meir has gone on a mini 6-0 run by herself here to give the Lady Knights the lead.
Here's a jumper outside off the glass that comes down short, and the Lady Eagles come away with it. That is Elena Wegner. She's going to bring it up, set things up here for Lincoln. Almost had the ball tipped away there. But Sedlacek will settle things down. and set up their offense.
Wagner is the starter, the engine starter for this Lincoln Eagles. Plays with a lot of heart out there on the floor. She did it yesterday. She fouled out late, but she played with so much effort and passion out there.
Kind of in-out play there, drove it into the paint and then kicked it outside. But Haley Nichols unable to connect.
Yeah, the Crimson Knights here have a ferocious defense. They usually full court, not really a full court press, but they just full court pressure you and just try to force bad turnovers. And they usually take over the mistakes that you do. Yep. And as you see, Mears jumped out to a 6-0 run by herself here for the Crimson Knights. And, if they can get those tips and steals, they have the size and the athleticism and the ball handlers to take over a game.
Yeah, it's like currency exchange. You got to take turnovers and turn them into something else.
Right.
That's more valuable for you, and they've been able to do that in this tournament so far. And CJ, you're on here. It's kind of interesting because we don't often have this, but you have a lot to do with this Chisholm program. You basically started it, correct?
Yeah, 2012 we started the Crimson Knights program in Houston, Texas, and here in the last 2 years I've actually handed over the reins of leadership. Camille Cox, the head coach, she now runs the basketball side of things. Camille's been with us, or been with the Knights, I should say, since 2013, and I had the pleasure of coaching her boys.
You can't leave JoJo open.
No, you cannot leave her open.
JoJo Malik.
Malik, yep. And we started our first girls program, I think, in 2014, and it's been rough sledding. We had 1 year where the Knights came to nationals and played pretty much a Team USA kind of thing. We did it at regionals. Phoebe Stein.
That was a good look away there by Phoebe to get the defender off balance and take it into the paint. But both of those points have happened because of deflections on the defensive side, which we were talking about right before the break.
Yep.
But Camille's done an amazing job. She's got 3 teams, 14U, 16U, and 18U, that are all competing at a high level of this tournament. Had we had enough girls for a 12, that team probably would have competed as well. So Camille's done a really good job. But the Lincoln Eagles, getting to watch them play yesterday and call their game, Coach Zapp, she does an amazing job with this team right here.
Sedlacek can't get it to go, a little too strong. Quick pass up ahead that time by Meir, but unable to chase it down is Abigail Nelson. And so, yeah, so we got a founding father here for the Crimson Knights, and we glad to have you on other broadcasts as well, but glad to have you on this one to give us a little insight.
And if you'll notice, if you see any of those 3 Crimson Knights teams that CJ just talked about, you'll notice multiple players because quite a few of these players play on multiple teams for the Crimson Knights. So they're coming here at Nationals knowing there's 1 game a day per the age group. So there's some of these possibly playing 3.
Yeah, there's 7 girls on this varsity team that are dual rostering.
Wow.
On 16U and 14U. And number 11, Chloe Cox, she'll play 14U, 16U, and 18U.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, they're young. They can do it.
Yep.
There was a foul earlier on Sayla Malik. Back the other way comes Lincoln.
Bucket right there for Elena.
Good shot, Elena Wagner. Wagner able to put that in and stop the bleeding a little bit. They're down 11-4. Here's another 3 outside. Sayla can't get that one to go.
It'll be interesting to see both teams here and how they shoot the 3. Yesterday, Lincoln did an incredible job of 3-point shooting.
JoJo shuffled her feet there on the rebound.
Yeah, a little bit of a double jump.
But those shots, they haven't really gotten any open 3 looks down here on the offensive end.
Yep.
For the Knights, what they've done differently in this first quarter, yesterday was turnover city in the first quarter, and very few turnovers for the Knights here in this first quarter.
Well, you can tell their defense is causing a lot of trouble, whether it's the press or when they just set up in that half-court defense. And there's another turnover.
Jeremy, you mentioned it. This pressure defense that the Knights bring, and the thing I tell people is it comes at you in waves. Like every time they bring somebody in, that wave it's just a new wave that comes.
It's just fresh legs, and it's not really a trap and press defense. It's just a pressure defense to make you have to work that much harder to get the ball up the floor. And
off the miss, here comes Lincoln.
When you have that many dual roster players you really can't afford to run a full court press the whole game, but running a pressure defense is a little bit different.
Oh, that ball was halfway
rattled in and
down.
out, but there's Mir, puts it in.
Yeah, if Mir's, if she's anywhere close to the ball coming off the rim, it usually ends up in her hands.
13-4. Lead continuing to grow for Chisholm.
I think the Lincoln Eagles really need to figure out how they can get. Oh, there's a big shot for Elena Wagner.
There's an answer. That's her 5th point. Well, they've not been able to get anything inside, though, so the outside shot right now is going to have to start to drop for them.
And they're playing the Lincoln Eagles. JoJo hits 2 more.
She's got a smooth stroke, man. Even when she misses, it looks like a make.
And she plays with a motor that never stops. And this, I'll tell you what, for the Lincoln Eagles, Ariana Wagner right there, she's a little raw, but I tell you what, she's going to develop into a very nice post player.
Yeah, even though they didn't convert on that was a good play. Wagner went down, found the Ariana Wagner on the other side of the basket, and she didn't get it to go, but wow, it was a nice play. And here's another good inbounds play. She loses it, and when she grabs the ball, she was laying on the end line.
Yep.
So that'll be another turnover.
Coach Zaff going back to the 2 Nichols sisters, and I'm assuming they're sisters, but Haley and Hannah Nichols, and then also Sedlacek coming back in the game as well. And it's going to be critical for them that they get Sedlacek and Hannah Nichols. They're 2 All-American, or Haley Nichols. They're 2 All-Americans going in this game.
Chisholm brings it down fast to their end of the court. Jumper by Mir, no good, and on the attempt to pull down that rebound, Malik knocks it out of bounds.
Yeah,
it will be Lincoln ball.
So we've talked a lot about Crimson Knight's defense and their pressure defense. We haven't talked much about their offense outside of Avery Mir, but in reality, you can't really double off anybody on the Crimson Knights because they all can fill up the scoreboard.
Anna Heck that time draws the contact.
Avery got a little too aggressive there.
That foul's on Avery.
Yep.
That's going to be her first foul. First foul for the Crimson Knights.
Got a collision there. But the ball comes in. Lincoln going to try to set something up. They trail at 15-7, 1:17 to go here, first quarter. This is for the girls' 18U Division I 6A gold ball.
There it is.
There's your jumper. Ball short.
And you can see during the time on the bench, Sedlacek took off the tape, so she was uncomfortable with that.
Another 3 miss. Battle for the ball. It's on the floor.
Left-hand pass from Sayla.
That was like a football game over there. And
There it
again,
is.
rugby. We've played all kinds of sports today.
A little miscommunication underneath the basket between Jenna Rollo and Phoebe Stein.
Yeah, both players were in the same position. They didn't see the one behind her.
That was 3 straight times. It was like a rugby scrum. You almost expect them to put helmets on and kind of join arms, and let's see who can get the ball. 15-7, 36 seconds to go. Lincoln gets it on the tie-up.
Substitutions coming in for Crimson Knights here.
The thing about Coach Zaff that I noticed yesterday and really like for her Lincoln Eagles, she trusts her stuff.
Yeah.
She will not, she will stick with what she knows her team can run and work, and they believe in it.
Yeah.
This team plays with a ton of confidence.
Yep. Well, and that's what they know, and that's a smart move by the coaches there to stick with the plan, even when at first it looks like it's not working. You keep going back to it.
Yeah, they are the North District champions. Lincoln Eagles are. They beat Texas Lions in that championship game.
13 seconds to go in this
You're
quarter.
going to get a buzzer beater here?
Well, Paul's sitting by us, so maybe. Oh, collision tie-up. It will stay at this end, though. 5.7 to go.
We're going to baseline out of bounds play here, and I would look for JoJo to free herself somewhere for the 3.
Either JoJo or Avery.
Oh, Avery walked in.
Or a cutter.
Avery walked in.
Avery Mir, 10 points in the first quarter, and her team leads by 10. That's the way we'll end this first quarter here in this girls' 18U Division I 6A gold ball game. It is the Chisholm Crimson Knights leading the Lincoln Lady Eagles 17-7. We'll be back with the second quarter after this break. Welcome back to Springfield, Missouri, 32nd Annual Christian Homeschool Basketball National Championship. Scott State and Jeremy Caldwell, CJ Pomeroy. We are at Drury University's campus, where right now in this girls 18U Division I 6A gold ball game, the Chisholm Knights hold a 17-7 lead, but that's cut quickly to 17-10 on the jump shot there by Elena Wegner for the Lincoln Lady Eagles. Maybe they'll get something started here, guys. They've not been able to do much in that first period. And there's a turnover.
Ooh, I think they're going to say that Phoebe maybe dragged her feet.
She got possession of the ball as she was stepping into her position, and she took one extra step after she gained possession, I believe.
Sometimes they let that go, but not that time.
Elena Wegner, though, is doing her best to keep Lincoln Eagles within striking distance here. She's got 7 of the 9 points for the Eagles.
Lady Eagles starting off this quarter the way they wanted to now.
Hannah Nichols. CJ, you were talking about her at the break.
Yeah, her and her sister, her sister Hannah, no, Haley. I get the two of them confused. So Hannah Nichols got the 2-point bucket. Haley Nichols is the All-American. She also is on the All-American watch list, top 25, All-Region player. Her teammate, Silacek, district MVP, All-American watch list, top 25, all-region player. So Coach Zaft has a lot to work with here. And for the Crimson Knights, they got to clean up the first 45 seconds of this second quarter.
Meanwhile, while we were kind of talking about the game there, Mraz got her second foul. And Daria Mraz is going to have to kind of keep an eye on that. Looks like there's going to be some substitutions here. And into the game for Chisholm, number 11, Chloe Cox.
Coach Zaft does not coach like a typical coach. You'd think with 2 fouls that she'd pull Mraz, but she has no problem playing her players with 2 and 3 fouls at times of games that a coach would typically pull them out.
Wegner got knocked to the floor there, and I believe they gave Chloe Cox that foul.
I believe they gave it to Zetta Cox.
Okay, there you go.
I love the passion of our fans.
Yeah, there's quite a few assistant coaches behind us. And we've heard that throughout the day. And, you know, you love that, seeing the fans get involved and, you know.
Oh, Nichols almost got that one to drop. But they will keep it at this end as it went off the hand of Chisholm. Yeah, we always have lots of coaches in the stands.
Right.
For sure. Probably more officials, though, is my guess.
Yeah. Immediately, Avery Meir comes back into the game. And see if she can anchor that defensive middle.
Ooh, dangerous pass, almost.
The one thing about playing a aggressive defense like what the Knights do is that it can lead players into taking chances that maybe they shouldn't take.
Right.
We saw Phoebe do that at the beginning of the quarter here, and Wegner beat her for the bank shot in the lane.
Yep.
And then JoJo just did the same thing to pick up a foul, trying to go for a steal.
Well, and that's why when you play that kind of ball, you have to have a deep bench, and they seem to have plenty of parts to be plugged in so that they're able to take some gambles and come up with those steals. Here's Nichols again. That one's short.
Oh,
All the Crimson Knight players sit there and thought their teammate was going to get it.
Wow, second chance opportunity, but another turnover for the Lady Eagles underneath.
and you saw Coach Cox take Avery Muir out of the game at the beginning of the second quarter, and 45 seconds in, she got her right back in.
Right.
Good left hand.
Speedy move, Chloe Cox. They found her at the other side of the defense, and she's able to convert. 19-11 now, Chisholm with the lead. Here's a steal. A near steal, and then trying to get the ball back. That's Elena Wegner. She picks up the foul.
I believe that's her second foul. She had the very first foul of the game within the first 10 seconds. So now, if you're Lincoln Eagles, you got players on the floor with 2 fouls apiece.
Yeah, you got to be careful. Although you understand that fouls, we get another whistle. That time on number 12, Hannah Nichols, because it was going to be a breakaway, and so you almost got to do whatever you can to get the ball away, and if you get the foul, you might still be saving 2 points. But we'll see. 19-11, 6:14 to go, second quarter. Chisholm in black, Lincoln Lady Eagles in white. Chisholm with the lead. Oh, they lose the ball there, and here comes the Eagles off the turnover.
Look at Abby Nelson sprint down the floor to try and get in front. That's the one thing about Abby Nelson is she plays with a lot of speed.
Yeah.
She's not the offensive threat that her teammates are, but she brings a lot of discipline and control to her teammates. And then she hits that occasional three.
Yeah, she left her foot, and then she seen Avery Muir standing right there, and she's like, I might not want to try this.
Yep. We saw that in the last game. Sometimes you'll make it into the lane, and then you look up and go, oh, no.
Yeah, this is not what I wanted to do.
Oh, good find. Up and under, doesn't go. Another chance, Chloe Cox.
Chloe Cox. She's coming off of playing in the 14U semifinal game that they won earlier today against the Aspire Blazers.
So she's warmed up.
She's warmed up. Sayla, on the other hand, Sayla's struggling right now as Solacek gets to there, but Sayla's struggling a little bit. She got 2 really quick fouls in yesterday's game and had to sit most of the first half. And then she's just kind of struggling right now to find her rhythm. But she's a really good player for the Knights. And once she gets going, that's going to be trouble for Lincoln.
Well, we saw Cox connect on 2 layups. That time she tried it from distance, couldn't get it. Other way comes Lincoln. Wegner bringing it up. As you mentioned, she's the engine for this team. Keeps things going on offense. Sedlacek up, under. And into the hands. Here comes the break once again. For the Crimson Knights, left-handed layup is up and good.
I actually like that decision. I mean, most times I'd like to see that pass go, but in that case, I like that decision right there that JoJo made to keep that one and just put it in herself.
Well, you seen JoJo look up the floor, hesitant, started to make the pass, and then kind of seen her teammate was running with her, so she took that advantage and took it to the hole herself. We got a block call there.
If you notice on that last play, Abby was not at a right angle to make the layup. So had Abby gotten that ball, that would have been a really tough layup to make.
Yeah, she was too close in front of the basket instead of coming in from the side.
Sedlacek will shoot 2. First one's good.
She is such a smooth player.
Yeah, she is. And, boy, I don't know, guys, if you've noticed, but I think we spent half of this game already with at least half of each team on the floor. I mean, they're just diving. They're running into each other. I mean, it's a physical game.
And when the goal ball's on the line, most of the time you're going to see that.
Second one, no good.
Jeremy, is this the first time for the Lincoln Eagles to be at this tournament?
I believe so. I don't remember the Lincoln Eagles names before off of recollection. But Rob Flatt will be the one to answer that. I'm sure off the top of his head he could give you an answer. But
I don't recall seeing them, and I'll tell you this. They don't get to play public schools in Nebraska. They're not allowed to. And so to see what Coach Zaft has done with this team, they're so balanced and they're so competitive without having the luxury of playing against the bigger, better schools. Texas teams, we get to do that all the time.
Yeah, here's a three-pointer. Oh, thought it was online, but too strong. Anna Hecht missed it. Mir spins. Left-handed shot, no good.
She tried doing too much
Gets
there.
her own rebound.
Yeah, I think she
then her pass goes through.
She did the spin move a little too early.
I think I would have liked to see her just take it straight at the bucket there. Good back door.
And her pass off the leg of the Chisholm Crimson Knights. You got to love, too, and just even across the country, just how much much more attention seems to be paid to girls' sports and girls' basketball. And you got players like Caitlin Clark up on the college level, and soon to be in my city, I'm quite certain in Indianapolis, since we have the #1 pick. But it's just been great as the sport has grown, and you see more new teams. And we got to do something, though, about Nebraska. We got to figure that out where they let those kids play those public schools.
Yeah, Louisiana, you're not allowed to play public schools either.
Well, Jeremy, you got to get on that. That's your next assignment.
Yeah, and that's a rule from LHSAA.
Oh, there's Sayla. She sees it go in one time, and that will not be the last time this game. She'll get another one.
Turn the alarms on. She's found her spot. 26-14, 3:20 to go here in the second quarter. Crimson Knights with a holding on to that lead since early on. Lincoln Lady Eagles climbing an uphill battle. That is going to be a foul on Chisholm again.
Did not see.
It's going to be on Jenna Rollo.
Jenna Rollo with a foul. Yeah, it's our angle here. We are directly across from the scorer's table, so typically when an official goes to the scorer's table and holds up his fingers, all we see is his back. So we're kind of guessing sometimes. But we'll do our best.
If you're the Lincoln Eagles, you've got to get Haley Nichols on the board.
Hecht, outside shot, too strong. But they get another chance. Eagles have given themselves multiple opportunities on several trips, but they don't turn enough of those into points. On the drive, Hecht takes it into traffic. Ball comes down into her teammate's hands. Another 3 attempt. That one's no good by Winter. And then on the drive inside, they call her for the travel.
Yeah, I think she shuffled her feet when she got possession. But that was a lot of traffic in the paint underneath there. And I don't think she was going to be able to get that off anyway if she didn't travel. But the Crimson Knights defenders do a really good job of just standing their ground and going vertical.
Yeah, they do, and they've caused a lot of trouble.
3-on-2.
Here's Weir, and the lefty puts it in. You kind of knew from that side of the basket she was going to make that one count.
Yep.
Her first points this quarter, a chance for the 1-and-1, a foul on the Lincoln Lady Eagles. And a couple times this game we've seen where Lincoln's not been able to get back quick enough. Chisholm's really just pushing the pace, and that time it resulted in a 3-point play for Avery Meir.
And not only can she finish under the basket, she can knock down free throws. She has got a pretty stroke, and if needs be, she can step out and hit the 3 as well.
Going to call a body check there on Abigail Nelson on Chisholm.
Jeremy, you've watched the Crimson Knights for a couple years, and in my estimation, I feel like the one thing or two things that Avery has done to really improve her game is she makes the layups now with contact.
Yes.
I think she's really struggled with that in the past, but now she's making the layup with contact. She's hitting free throws.
Right.
And when you're a kid with the size that Avery has and you're able to finish under duress and knock down the free throws, you're a hard person to guard.
Yeah, whenever she was playing in 14U and 16U, I think she was playing, she was just getting into basketball, still growing into her body. And it took her a few years to get settled in. And as Jenna Rollo is going to get another foul there.
After the second free throw was missed by Haley Nichols, Ariana Wegner was able to get in there, and she drew the contact. She will get to shoot 2 now, and her first one's good.
Ariana has such a great shooting stroke from the line.
I was going to say, that looked like she's been there before.
Yeah, after watching some of the basketball this year, some of these tournaments and homeschool basketball, it doesn't look like Caitlin Clark's going to be the last hero of girls basketball. It looks like there's a plethora of girls coming up from the ranks that's got plenty.
We're going to get Jenna again.
Yeah, we're starting to see Ariana Wagner make her presence known down low. They had 2 different Crimson Knights on her, but on the pass, she's able to jump up and draw the contact and the foul, and she will be at the free throw line as they're in the bonus, so she gets 2.
That's 3 quick fouls on Jenna Rollo, and that's going to send Ariana back to the free throw line.
So here's a great example of how the Knights hit you in waves, right? You got Jenna Rollo out there. She gets those 3 fouls. Coach Cox goes right away to Claire Anderson.
Right.
And you want to know who you don't want guarding you on the floor?
Claire Anderson.
It's Claire Anderson.
Nice.
I've seen her guard girls, and she will frustrate you to no end.
Almost another chance. Boy, they seem like they've been on this end of the court this last possession for a couple minutes, but they only come away with 1 free throw.
And Claire Anderson is not afraid to get physical.
Yep. She knows her role, and she plays it very, very well.
Missed shot by Phoebe Stein, but here's a 3 by Chloe Cox. No good, tapped out of bounds. And they say it was off the hands of Chisholm.
Scott, you mentioned this, and I hadn't really paid attention until you mentioned it, but the reality of it is almost every dead ball, we have a substitution.
Yeah.
It's unreal. If you're over the scorer's table, you better be ready on that buzzer.
JoJo went for a steal there, unable to get it.
Good jump stop.
Yeah, it was. But short on the shot.
Oh.
Saved. Lincoln Lady Eagles, they have had success getting offensive rebounds, but they've not turned them into points. Here's Wagner inside. Now she does it. That's her first field goal.
Her future is so bright.
Yep, and you can see Avery Muir is on the at the scorer's table waiting to come in.
Great save by Cox, but it
never saved to the middle of the floor.
Yeah, it spurs a fast break for the Lincoln Lady Eagles. And Sedlacek able to draw the contact and the 2 shots.
That foul's going to be on Phoebe. Sorry.
It's only 29-18. It feels like Chisholm has been in control the entire game, but the Lady Eagles just keep hanging around.
And they will. I mean, yesterday they had I wouldn't say it was an excessive lead or anything, but they had a double-digit lead on Texas Lions, and Texas came back and they went up a good, I think maybe double digits on them, and then they just hung around.
That's going to be another foul on Lincoln Eagles. Number 21, Daria Mraz, just came back in the game. That's going to be her 3rd foul.
Yeah, wow, you hate to see that for Lincoln.
Yeah, we're not going to see her the rest of this half for sure, as there's 1:16 left to go.
Lincoln keeps getting the offensive boards, but they've got to be able to convert some of those into points. They're getting to the free throw line, but they're not converting half their shots. So they've had opportunities, and they're only down 10, but
yeah, the fouls are mounting up, but the good thing for Chisholm Knights is they're spread it around pretty good.
First free throw bounces off.
I've got
the
Lincoln Eagles 3 for 10 from the free throw line in the first half.
Yeah, 30% won't keep you in a game. Second shot is good for JoJo Malik, and that was back up to 11.
That first free throw there was the first miss for Chisholm Lady Knights.
Well, I like the attack there by Wagner, but she knocks it out of bounds. And the ball goes back to Chisholm. Here comes Chisholm, 1:06 to go, leading by 11. In this girls 18U Division I 6A gold ball game. That's going to be out of bounds to the Chisholm Crimson Knights.
Chisholm
yeah,
Crimson
I
Knights.
I almost called them the Lady Knights. I keep trying to not do that since CJ's here. There's a
big
3.
shot for Phoebe.
She's got 7 points.
Big shot for Phoebe. This is an important 45 seconds for the Lincoln Eagles. They have got to find a way to get a bucket here.
That was a good backdoor cut, but good job by the Crimson Knights to switch on that screen.
Nice move.
Oh, beautiful interior pass by Nichols.
That was huge.
Get an open look by Kelsey Ball there, her first 2 points. 33-21, 27 seconds. Here's a deep 3. Got it.
Guys, that is the number 11 player on the bench.
Oh, Edith Fleming.
Coming in and knocking down that 3.
And that was a college 3. She was behind everything.
And after she shot it, she left her hand up just to let everybody know she still got it.
Nichols gets the offensive board. Her putback attempt no good. Ball out of bounds, off of the Eagles.
Edith is a great part of this team. She brings such energy and passion, and she works really hard on her craft.
And she's the fourth different Crimson Knight to hit a three-pointer. So as we end this first half, it is the Chisholm Crimson Knights in control over the Lincoln Lady Eagles, 36-21. We are halfway through this girls 18U Division I 6A gold ball game. Back with the second half, and we'll figure out who wins this gold ball after the halftime break. Welcome back to Springfield, Missouri, and you are watching the girls 18U Division I 6A gold ball game. It has been the Chisholm Crimson Knights out of Texas leading the Lincoln Lady Eagles after one half, 36-21. Crimson Knights are in black, and boy, they just connected once again. Phoebe Stein.
It's a good start for Crimson Knights to come out and hit a three first possession.
Lead is up to 18 now.
It's always interesting to see what kind of adjustments are made at halftime by both teams. And Chisholm Crimson Knights comes out, hit a three in their first possession. Lincoln Eagles comes out, turns the ball over in their first possession. So
yeah, and they struggle with that in the first half. A lot of turnovers, opportunities missed free throws. And if they're going to come back, they're going to have to correct some of those things.
And I think for the Lincoln Eagles to get back in this game, they're going to have to do something that they haven't done yet, which is they're going to have to make threes. Yesterday they hit a lot of threes, and in this game the Knights have really taken away the three-point shot.
Here's a three. Good. Rattles it in. JoJo.
I told Coach Camille at the beginning of the year, I watched the Knights at tip-off, and I told her at the beginning of the year, I said, listen, if your team can finish their layups and hit the outside shot, you have a real opportunity at being an 18U Division I undisputed national champion. And I really feel like the Knights are that good this year.
That's awesome. Well, we've seen, there's a nice response at the other end.
Huge.
Daria Mraz able to put that in and get the foul and an opportunity for a three-point play.
yeah, Phoebe wouldn't have got the foul if she wouldn't have swung her hands downward in the downward motion. So
these tournaments this year, you're talking about undisputed, CJ, there's so many opportunities. Yesterday we saw both boys 18U and girls 18U, the defending undisputed champions, get stretched, get tested late in their games, and they were able to pull out the win. But there's opportunities here. That three is no good.
it's always going to be 3 for 3 from three.
They've had 4 different players connect from outside, and they've got 6 so far in the game. Eagles with the ball, Lady Eagles, trailing 42-23.
Really important for Lincoln to get a good set right here.
Nice find from the block, no good. Nichols couldn't get it to go, but the putback is right there with Haley Nichols.
That's what Lincoln needs right now. They cannot allow this lead to get past 20. Saylor with a scoop left hand. The senior All-American, All-Region. Got a couple colleges interested in her.
Well, I can see why. They lead it 44-25 now. Lincoln Lady Eagles now, another steal.
And that's Abby Nelson. You know, we kind of talked about this with Edith Fleming, and it's the same with Abby Nelson. They know their roles.
What a save. JoJo falling out of bounds. Has the presence of mind to catch the ball, look under the basket, and who's there but Avery Meir. She puts it in and has a chance now to make her own three-point play and push this lead to 22.
Avery Meir does a really good job of running to the left side of the goal, knowing she's a left-handed player. So that's going to be her strong side, and more times than not, she's going to finish on that side of the basket.
First miss.
Can't finish the three-point play. Lead still 21, though. 5:30 to go. The other way, Haley Nichols.
That ball was just ripped out of her hands.
Ripped away. Here's Chloe Cox. Boy, they turned a turnover quickly into points there.
Well, you know, the Knights have played with the mindset of, you know, how do we beat San Marcos, right? And San Marcos plays fast and plays hard. Are they going to count that?
No,
he's going to say it's on the floor.
I think I'd count it just because it was a great shot. But, you know, I'm not the ref.
Yeah, the Crimson Knights come out in this third quarter out of the break on a 10-2 run to start the quarter.
Yeah, they've just, you know, you said that, and maybe for anyone who's not seen this Chisholm team, boy, they have the players. I believe, called every single name on that roster for something good.
Yeah, they're just so deep. They've got the inside, they've got the outside, and they've got the talent, right? I mean, the basketball IQ is what I mean when I say talent. It's a high-level
sure.
IQ. A lot of these girls, there's only 2 seniors on this team.
Oh, wow.
A lot of these girls have played together for many, many years, and so you're seeing this camaraderie and chemistry, and it's coming together at the right time.
They had a tip pass on the inbound, and then number 40, Anna Heck, lost her footing going in. Referee's going to get overturned, said the ball was tipped out of bounds. So the ball's going to stay here under their basket for the Lincoln Eagles.
We'll see if they get it to Ariana Wagner.
They're trying to.
And you got to remember, they're doing this against a really good team.
Yeah, Lincoln, just watching Lincoln yesterday against the Austin Lions, Austin played so fast. I mean, it was amazing how fast they played. And Lincoln did just an amazing job. Coach Zapp did just an amazing job. And her girls, I wonder if maybe they're just having a little bit of a struggle after that overtime game yesterday.
Yeah.
Having to come back and basically face the same kind of team like they played yesterday.
Well, it's nonstop. I mean, they're in your face the entire time you have the ball. And it's a daunting task to try to get through that defense.
Yeah, and Phoebe Stein picked up her 3rd foul on that last possession. And Chloe Cox pushing the pace up here. Anna Heck is going to get her 1st foul of the game.
And I did check with the book. That will be Phoebe. Did she get another foul in this quarter?
Yeah, she just got one a while ago.
Okay.
So she has 3, I believe.
Got it.
Very impressive showing so far by the Chisholm Crimson Knights, trying to win their first gold ball.
They were 18U Division II national champions last year, and this year they're going for their first Division I 18U gold ball today.
They are well on their way right now.
I believe some of these players won the 16U undisputed last year.
They won 16U undisputed last year, played runner-up in 14.
That 3 is long, and the ball goes out of bounds.
Ball's going to stay here.
Stay at this end. Chisholm in control.
Wow.
Oh, too strong. She gets it back, though.
Good find right there. Chloe, uh-oh.
She had a look.
The shortest kid in the court.
Boy, she is hustling Abigail. And she's making a difference, and that foul is going to be on 44, I believe is what he called. Well, no, it must be 45. There's not a 44 on the floor. So Ariana with her 1st foul of the game. But right now.
Told you.
Another 3.
Yeah.
Sayla. That's her 2nd 3 of the game.
That's the 3rd 3 for the Chisholm Knights here in this 3rd quarter alone.
7-3 on the game.
3 a quarter is a pretty good ratio.
Good play right there. Haley Nichols. She's got to be more involved, I think, offensively.
Oh, there's an unforced turnover. Stein threw that one into the Lady Eagles bench.
Going to be a timeout.
You know, when you're in these big games, it's great to have coaches that believe in their team, right? They believe in everybody on their team. They believe everybody on their team can contribute. But I do think that if you're going to compete at the highest level,
right,
your stars, and there are stars. Like, it doesn't matter what someone might want to think. There are stars on every team.
For sure.
And your stars, they have to show out. And right now, that's kind of the difference, I think, in the game between these two teams. For the Knights, Avery Mears is having a fantastic game. Phoebe Stein is having a fantastic game. Sayla Malik is starting to hit from the outside with 2 threes now. And on the other side, you know, Silachek is struggling a little bit. I think maybe she's struggling a little bit from the injury yesterday that she suffered late in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And Haley Nichols is just – she's not able to find any opportunities to get some sort of rhythm to be able to impact the game from the outside like we know that she can.
Yeah, and we talked about this yesterday on one of the broadcasts, and I don't remember who was on the call with me. It might have been you, Paul, but CJ. But when you get to the championship level and get to these games, you know, like you said, the stars are usually going to show out. but it's which team is going to have that role player that steps up.
Yep.
And every game it may be a different role player, but to win a championship, you got to have somebody, one of your role players, that's going to show up and make a difference. And the Crimson Knights, the problem is you don't know which one's the role player because they're all pretty good.
Great effort right there by Margaret Winter.
Like I said, they end up on the floor so much. Just both teams giving it everything there. Missed opportunity, even when they call a timeout, they've just been unable to really put any kind of play together.
2-on-1.
Good job by Mir to run the floor.
Even when something positive happens, like a block, it turns into a negative. Chisholm is so opportunistic.
Well, I was talking to Coach Camille before the game, and I think the one thing that is the superpower for the Crimson Knights, and I think this for all three teams that they have, the girls never stop playing. Nobody takes a break. Nobody. I mean, they could be up 40 points, and if you're a coach and you're playing against them and you're that coach that's down 30 points and there's 10 seconds left, the Knights are not dribbling the clock out.
No,
they don't do that.
And another thing I noticed is, whenever I coached, and y'all too as well, whenever you coach your players on a fast break like that, you got to tell all your players that everybody needs to run down because you never know what happens. And in that instance, Avery Mir, the Crimson Knights had a 2-on-2 break, but Avery Mir was the back one that she still kept running, and she's the one ended up getting the tip ball and scoring off of it because she ran the floor.
Well, you have that luxury when
Good
you can play everybody.
Did you see that hesitant move right there?
Great hesitation by Chloe Stein to get the defender off balance, but keep her dribble alive and then continue to the goal.
I think you can get Elena Wagner right there.
Yeah, she couldn't believe that. I think it's just been a very frustrating day for Wagner and the rest of her team. They are really playing hard, but they have run into a buzzsaw.
Yeah, these Chisholm Knights here have looked like they are on a mission, and I believe the destination is Friday night.
Yeah, I think, and they got to get there, but they've already lost 3 times to the San Marcos Panthers. They are hungry.
Yes.
They are hungry.
They've played them in the district championship of the South Texas District. They played them in the regional championship at the Big South, and it's been single-digit differences in both games. And they are just wanting another shot, another opportunity, as is every other girls team in the field.
They also played them in the state championship.
Haley Nichols gets that one to fall. Yeah, you guys are getting me excited. I want to enjoy these next 2 days, but I kind of want to get to Friday now. And I know there's no easy path. I mean, but if these two are headed on a collision course, beautiful.
Wow, the two-hand pass, interior setting it up for Jenna.
That was a great dive by Jenna Rollo to dive weak side, knowing it was going to be open.
Man, if I'm Salatic, I take that shot.
Up and under, partially blocked. Out with it comes Phoebe Stein. Here come the Lady Knights, Crimson Knights on the way.
That's a good job of Jenna Rollo. She got a little frustrated early in the first half, picking up 3 quick fouls. Had to go to the bench. Frustrated with that, but still coming in, making a difference for the team.
There's another hesitation from Phoebe Stein.
Yeah, that was like the picket fence there.
Yeah, Phoebe Stein is a really good ball handler, really good defender, and she don't get rattled much.
Yeah.
And I remember coming to these tournaments, I run the Houston, Texas tournament, which we moved to the A&M this year at Bryan, Texas. I run the Big South, and I've been watching Phoebe since she's been playing 14, 18U as an 11-year-old.
Yep.
And she's still playing 16 and 18, and she's been playing the same way since then as an 11-year-old. I've even had people question me on her age because she was starting on the varsity as an 11-year-old and making an impact, and that's how good she's been for a long time.
Unselfish play, works the ball around. Good open look for a 3.
Got numbers. You got to give it up. Oh, she missed her. Heck, had Sadlacek down the court.
Yep. We've seen that multiple times where the Chisholm player will step right in front at the last second on a pass, and it makes the Lincoln Eagles kind of hesitate and often turns into a turnover.
Yeah.
Nobody had Jenna marked.
Good pass on the weak side.
Edith Fleming has 5 points in the game.
Hey, we talked about role players stepping up. Edith Fleming, as you talked about, the 11th player on this roster, coming in, making a difference, hit a big 3 early on, and now she's got another layup. Just, you got to have players that know their roles and play their roles to win championships. And the Crimson Knights are looking like they're going to possibly advance as they're up 32 at this point.
Yeah, and again, a reminder, you're not watching a game where on paper it's a mismatch. They're playing a really good Lincoln team, but they're just clicking. I mean, defense is working. Transition is working. Their offense is just about unstoppable right now.
That's really been the issue is they've done a really good job of protecting the basketball. Yesterday, they turned the ball over uncharacteristically in the first quarter just an incessant amount of times. But they were able to clean that up and win pretty big. But in this game, of course, as soon as I say it, we turn the ball over.
One of the few.
That's how it works.
One of the few miscues by the Crimson Knights.
Sedlacek ends the quarter with a bucket, but her team trails 61-31 after 3. We'll be back with the final quarter of action after this break.
When my body needs relief, I real-time it. I'd like to introduce you to my knockout pain formula, real-time pain relief. Its soothing lotion is rich in nature's ingredients and helps me manage discomfort day or night. And it smells great too. From muscle strains to soreness to simple back aches and arthritis. Real-time it and knock out your pain. It works for me and it will work for you. Real-time pain relief, it's a knockout.
Welcome back to girls 18U Division I 6A gold ball game. It has been the Chisholm Knights. The Crimson Knights have come out of Texas, and they have brought the heat with them because they are absolutely clicking on all cylinders right now. They lead at 61-31 over a tough Lincoln Eagles team. The Lady Eagles have looked really good in this tournament, but they have just run into a team that is making everything work at the right time of the year. On the missed shot, that ball goes out of bounds, and I believe we're a couple points away from a running clock.
And this is where the Knights separate themselves. They see, with the game being what it is, sometimes teams will start to lay back a little bit.
Right.
The Knights don't, and that play right there was indicative of that. You mentioned it earlier about opportunistic. That was an opportunistic. We're going to speed down the court. They get 2 more from JoJo Malik. And there's JoJo.
Oh, they missed her.
Releasing.
Missed 3 by the Lady Eagles. Here come the Crimson Knights. Oh, they have a turnover of their own.
I think it's really important for Lincoln to finish this game strong.
Yes.
Get Hannah going right here. You know, you've got 2 more days of games to play. Hannah is a great player. Haley Nichols is a great player. And I think it's really important for Lincoln to finish this tournament with their 2 best players finishing this game strong here in the 4th quarter.
Another out-of-bounds violation, saying the inbounder was stepping on the line. Turnover.
So another opportunity, and they actually, for the first time, turn it into points. Sedlacek on the inbounds. That was Mraz, I believe, on the bucket there. And they cut into that lead just a little. But like you said, it's not even so much coming back to win this game, but they want to leave here with a little bit of momentum, feeling good about some things and being able to move on as they're going to have more games tomorrow as well. Mir on the offensive board work.
Did y'all see the way she jumped up and snatched that rebound out of the ground, out of the air? The hands that she has down low.
Great feed inside by Wegner to Mraz. And suddenly a little flurry here from the Lincoln Lady Eagles.
This is what you need if you're Lincoln. You need to have a great 4th quarter right here. Oh, referees have blown the whistle, and the Knights were trying to catch Avery.
That's not the fast break, because she was about to go.
Were we going to see a dunk?
No, not yet. Believe it or not, there's actually a girl on the 14U team that can get up and grab the rim. She's trying to become the first CHSM Crimson Knight dunker.
Oh, and there's a steal.
And then a foul.
And then a double dribble.
Oh, yeah, they called her for the double dribble.
Oh.
Sedlacek came away with the ball, and then I think she picked it up after she dribbled once and then dribbled again.
Turnover turned into a turnover.
But they're having
what a finish.
What a finish.
Are you kidding me?
Left hand in traffic. Abigail.
Here's a 3, and boy, you can tell a little difference. Lincoln really being aggressive on the offense now, but Chloe Cox gets behind everybody and lays that one in easily.
And Did you see Chloe, how she corralled that ball to get it back in front of her?
Yeah, and as you mentioned earlier, no slowing down for the Crimson Knights here.
Nichols can't connect on the 3, so she takes a couple steps in and hits from there. Haley Nichols.
I think Avery might need a breather here. She's given up a couple opportunities that.
There's another 3.
Sayla singing sweet music from the 3-point line.
Went scoreless in the 1st quarter and hit 3 threes since then.
8 threes for the team on the day.
And the thing is, she's really not even impacted the game in a way that she typically does. I mean, she's a very strong rebounder. She does a great job of finishing. But the Knights have everybody but one person on the scorebooks.
Yeah.
Talk about balanced attack.
Here's Mir. Oh, in and out. And another collision. Going to be a foul on Chisholm. Yeah, we've seen really the Lincoln Lady Eagles kind of find like some fire here in this quarter. They seem like they're on offense, finding a lot more opportunities, making some shots. But one of the problems that I'm noticing is they're crashing the boards, and what happens is on a miss, Chisholm is so fast and they're so deep and have fresh legs that they turn around and there's a black jersey running the other direction with nobody behind them.
Yeah, the Chisholm Knights do a really good job defensively of not fouling very often, but also switching everything on defense.
There's that finish from Sayla.
Yeah, that fast break is dominant. That was a 3-on-1 or 3-on-2 rather. There wasn't much you could do there. And a timeout by Lincoln, 72-39. Chisholm putting their name on that gold ball with authority.
Yeah.
That's a deep imprint because they're winning this one big and really showing you why there are statements that maybe if you don't watch basketball or homeschool basketball a lot, but when you hear CJ or you hear Jeremy say this team could win an undisputed, well, this is why. They are deep. They can shoot. They can rebound. They can play defense. They can do all the things. Now, San Marcos, they're going to have to go through them, and they're going to have to go through some other teams that are really tough. But, boy, they made a statement here, and I'm sure if any other teams that advance in the girls 18U see this, they're going to realize, if they don't already, that they're going to have a handful.
I mean, who do you stop? Who do you focus on?
Yep.
Okay, we're going to focus on Avery. Well, then, Phoebe and Sailor are going to go to work.
Or
All
JoJo.
Right, we're going to focus on JoJo, right?
And Phoebe and Sailor.
Yeah,
Sailor.
yeah,
We're going to go
yeah,
off we don't know. Now, the other good thing about this is the first girls 18U D1 game of the day. So the other teams that are playing later after this are going to see this score, and you got to wonder, are they looking ahead and saying, man, if we win this, we got to play them tomorrow. Yeah. And it takes them off focus of their game today, and they may have to play a closer game today than they thought they would have, not knowing the score of this game.
And I'll be honest, I did feel like CHSM was probably the favorite, but I called that Lincoln game yesterday.
Oh, good job.
This really is a good team. I mean, this is just – if you're from Lincoln and watching this broadcast, this is a very good Lincoln team. And the future for this Lincoln team is bright, especially with players like Ariana Wegner.
Yeah.
I mean, man, you next year you pair her with Solachik again and another year of development for Wegner. And, I mean, there could be double trouble down there in the post for a lot of players. And Solachik can step outside and hit the three while she's at it.
Right.
A lot of good players, good future. And even this week, they'll be able to move on and play in another bracket now and make some noise there and kind of erase what happened here today.
Yeah, the loser,
this tough team.
The loser of this game still gets a silver ball, and they advance to the Silver Ball Showdown Series where they can play for the undisputed Silver Ball Championship.
Which will be no easy task.
No, any of the 4 teams that lose today, you probably wouldn't want to face them either tomorrow.
I mean, is it West Michigan and HEA playing later? Is that what it is?
No, HEA is playing
Aggieland.
Aggieland. West Michigan is playing Fort Bend next on this court.
So West Michigan, HEA, they played a couple times this year. I think West Michigan has won a couple times.
Yes.
And HEA has got Lily Williams, the Michigan State commit, right? And they have Katie Martis, who's a commit to NAIA school.
Right.
So that's a really good team. So if West Michigan has beat them a couple times,
right.
If either one of those teams ends up on the other side, then you've got Aggieland, who has Pearson McVeigh. Pearson McVeigh has 17 offers to the next level.
Wow.
She has over 20 double-doubles on the season, right? She's paired up with a freshman in Chloe Kern, who's on the All-American watch list, top 25. If Aggieland doesn't make it to the Gold Ball Showdown, you're going to have to face them.
Oh, great block by Wegner.
The Silver Ball Showdown is going to be incredible basketball on this girls' side.
And then San Marcos plays Tyler Heat later, and that's not going to be an easy matchup for either team.
Yeah.
So
Tyler Heat has a young squad that Savannah Fuller, All-American watch list, top 25.
And Lexi Fuller is an 8th grader. And she's on the all-region team, all-district. And she wasn't all-district. She didn't play in all-district. She had a hurt arm, and they still won the district championship down at the Gulf Coast.
On the inbounds,
that is huge.
Sedlacek gets that one to drop.
But as you mentioned earlier, if you're Lincoln Eagles, you want to end this game here in the 4th quarter. Regardless of the score, you can't look at the scoreboard. You want to end on a positive note and, show yourself that you can still advance and play better tomorrow. The good thing is you got to forget about this pretty quick and advance tomorrow, and you still get a silver ball after this. Looks like the Lady Knights are going to dribble out the clock finally as
all I had to do is say that they don't dribble out the clock, and they dribble out the clock.
We forgot to tell you, if you sit at this booth, whatever you say will happen doesn't happen.
Well, it's only 30 seconds, so I think they're okay to do that.
First time in Crimson Knight history to win a Division U Girls 18U Gold Ball. Congratulations, Coach Cox, Coach Rollo, Assistant Coach Cox. Tyler used to play for us on the guys' side, and so he's out there, assistant coach for his mom and for his 2 sisters out there. Incredible job to the Crimson Knights winning the 6A Gold Ball.
And congratulations to you, CJ. It has to be a great feeling with a program that you that helped start, and to see them make it all the way here and now advancing deep into this girls 18U Division I tournament. Well, thank you for joining us. We got more basketball coming up. Up next, Girls 18U Division I 5A gold ball. West Michigan Hornets, another loaded team against the Fort Bend Eagles out of Texas, who will be trying to pull off the upset. We'll be back with that one after this break.
Tell CJ to get up.
See you, brother. How are you? I brought one with me. See this? Yeah, I did. I talked to him just a few minutes ago. We got to run over to Ozarks. Are you here all day or just a couple hours? I think till 7. I think I have 4 games. How you doing? Your name again? Scott. I already met Thomas Sanders.
Yeah. What? Did you go to Liberty? Your brother went